What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the future of Assassin's Creed. So we got an Insider Gaming article from our good old friend Tom Henderson, and he's normally right on the money, right? Now, a lot of it, he talks about live service-like things, right? Assassin's Creed Infinity. We'll read it. I don't have too much to say. Honestly, some of it sounds a little confusing to me. I'm more interested in the very end of the article, and I kind of want to read that first because he kind of just rapid fire lists off all of these games that they believe are coming, Assassin's Creed related, over the next decade. He says to release by the end of the decade, so actually by 2030, right? So he says, obviously, we know things like Assassin's Creed Red and Assassin's Creed Hexe, as well as Assassin's Creed Invictus, which is the multiplayer game. That game is 2025, Hexe is 2026, and then Assassin's Creed Red is later this year. And then he goes on to say other projects include Obsidian, which is the Black Flag remake, Nebula, which is settings based in India, Aztec Empire, and Mediterranean, so like a 3-for-1 thing. Raid, a free-to-play 4-player co-op that's PvE. Echoes, which is another multiplayer title, and another Assassin's Creed remake, and then again, which are all scheduled to release by the end of the decade. And then he pretty much just says in terms of Infinity, so it was shown off kind of behind the scenes, and he said that demo footage provided to Insider Gaming shows the user going from the Infinity Hub to Assassin's Creed Red within just a few seconds, picking up where they left off, rather than having to boot up the games individually after falling back into the hub. The main focus of Infinity is a live service offering, which is all told via modern-day story. To start, Infinity will launch on the same day as Red and will contain several features that you would expect from a live service. The exchange will be an item shop, offering players the opportunity to purchase daily and weekly in-game cosmetics for Red's two protagonists. In addition to the exchange, it also has a synchronization feature that allows the player to access projects for each protagonist. To explain them in their simplest form, projects are mini battle passes with a narrative behind them, offering players the ability to earn cosmetic rewards. So again, cosmetic. Projects will be added throughout Infinity constantly, focusing mainly on DLC and new game releases, or even as a means of sustaining player interest during a lack of any new content. It's understood that the current strategy for Ubisoft with Infinity is to release a mainline game every 2 years with the smaller experiences in between, and then he goes off to list them. So honestly, I mean, like, we've been pitched Infinity, or there's been rumors as to what Infinity has been for, I think back in, it's the article says it, I think Jason Schreier back in 2021. At this point, I kind of just want to see it when it releases. It still kind of sounds confusing to me, and also, like, does it really feel all that necessary? That's kind of the bigger thing to me. But the cosmetics, I mean, we'll see how they do with it. We've talked so many times about live service, and Ubisoft is seeing, you're literally in current time right now, about Skull and Bones and how well that's going. So, I wonder if they would pump the brakes, or you can't completely stop this considering they've been working on this for probably 3-4 years, right? But I wonder if anything would change based off of, if this doesn't work or if it does work. Again, the main thing I want to focus on is the future. So we knew they were going all in. I think they've even said, like, Assassin's Creed obviously is their most important thing. It's going to continue to be their most important thing. I'm excited for them. And even, the future stuff, I don't know how pumped I'd be for Raid, which is that free-to-play 4-player co-op. I mean, like, in and of itself, it might not be that bad, but the free-to-play thing, scares me a little of how you'd actually do that. Echoes, another multiplayer title. So you already have one multiplayer title next year. Then you have another multiplayer title. And it's like, I actually really like the multiplayer that they, introduced back in the day for Assassin's Creed. It was that era where people and companies were kind of just doing it to do it, where we got Batman Arkham Origins and Dead Space 2 had, and even Uncharted had it, right? A thing like Assassin's Creed. So I think it was actually a pretty creative time in the industry where you had these, single-player story games that also had a multiplayer component. So if it's anything like that, I think that's actually fine. 2 multiplayers, that's a little bit more interesting. And then, I mean, the biggest thing, I mean, we've heard now a few times, right, about the Black Flag remake, another Assassin's Creed remake, which are all scheduled to release by the end of the decade. I don't know, honestly, if it goes in order. It feels like he's putting it in order, but I don't think you can absolutely know that, right? Assassin's Creed remake. So Black Flag really breaks, like, okay, well, would you start at 1? And I think 1 is the one that actually needs the remake the most, right? You could actually argue, I think, how necessary it is to have Black Flag be remade. And I would actually say, and I played it last year all the way through, I don't really think it needs a remake all that much. Now, the rumor is it's the Skull and Bones team, right? So it is up that alley. You know what I mean? I do understand why you would do something like that. Is it necessary? Probably not, but does it give them something to do now with Skull and Bones out? And, you know, if they have kind of specialty, does it kind of fit that? Yeah, honestly, it does. So, all right, if you have another remake, I would say order is still important, but like, would you, this is kind of what I'm building to, would you do Assassin's Creed 2 because they might know the popularity of Ezio? Would you do that over Assassin's Creed 1? And again, the only reason I bring that up is, but you would think 1 is a shoo-in. It's the oldest, 2007. It has something there that's still good, even for like a modern game. But like it does. If you had any choice of which of these games deserve a remake, the first game. But I mean, you're doing Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 2. You know, 1 obviously started it all, but 2 is really where they jumped up, you know, a notch. And Ezio again so popular, and they've already done like a collection, you know, with the Ezio games before. So it's just speculation. We might not know this for another like 2 to 4 years, right? But I do wonder if it would actually be 2 because they'd go more on popularity versus 1, which is more like need, right? Like need versus popular. So we'll see. That actually is the thing I'm most interested in. But, you know, I give all these games a try, and we'll see how they do. I liked Mirage. I didn't love it, but I thought it was a very solid game, and I am excited for Assassin's Creed Red. I don't think I'm excited for this Infinity. I'm not into cosmetics. I'm definitely not into buying cosmetics. So I really don't think there's going to be almost anything in that for me. And that's okay, I suppose, but I am excited for like the base game. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.